what's happening, everybody? It's your man JP with JP's World of Wrestling. I am your man JP, and I'm back. I am back in somewhat full swing. I put some stuff up in the background here. I'm going to add more over on this other side, just so it's more full and it fills out more. But for now, I got some local independent wrestling posters up. This is MSW. Another MSW one, and my Wrestling at the Chase thing, and I got my WrestleMania tin up there. I got Cody Rhodes and the Hart Foundation LJN tin right there. So yeah, things are slowly but surely shaping up, and I just did a couple of test runs for figure matches, and with a few adjustments, I think that's going to turn out pretty good. And those are coming. Those are coming. Cherry cola goodness. Okay. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the King of the Ring. Being as how it's almost June, and June meant, at least in the 90s, that King of the Ring, or starting in the mid-90s, it started like years ago in the 80s when Don Morocco won a King of the Ring, and then it was Harley Race, and then it was Haku, and then it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Macho Man, but that was different. I don't think they called that the King of the Ring. They just called that the King of the World Wrestling Federation. But this was actually a pay-per-view, and I just got done watching the 1993 King of the Ring. And that whole pay-per-view was pretty much just to put over Bret the Hitman Hart. Because at the time, Bret he had been there a while, but he had just come into his own. He just lost the WWF title at WrestleMania 9. But this was sort of the WWF's opportunity to really put Bret over, because this was the last pay-per-view event for Hulk Hogan for a lot of years. And because everybody remembers what happened at WrestleMania 9, Bret came in as the champion, was defeated by Yokozuna, and then out comes Hulk Hogan and beats Yokozuna in a very short amount of time, but walks out as the WWF champion. Well, that whole thing was just so that Hulk Hogan could have one last run as champion, and he could go overseas and wrestle Yokozuna all over Europe and everything. But it was a controversial thing because a lot of people think that Yoko should have kept the title and that Bret should have been the one to sort of chase the title. But if that would have been the case, then we probably wouldn't have had the King of the Ring, because the King of the Ring was basically designed for Bret. And it was a tournament. It was a tournament format. And, Bret Hart wrestled 3 times that night, and he finally was able to defeat Bam Bam Bigelow in the finals. But the weird thing about that match is that Bam Bam actually won the match by pinfall, but it was because Luna Vachon earlier in the match hit Bret Hart with a steel chair, and then Bam Bam brought Bret in and beat him. But then, conveniently, Earl Hebner comes down and waves it off, saying, "No! Luna Vachon hit him with a chair. So now, even though I never ever do this, but now I'm going to say that we have to call it off and allow the match to continue. Instead of awarding it to Bret for disqualification, let's just have the match continue." Which, to me, it didn't make any sense, but that's wrestling. So, Bret Hart ends up winning the match and becomes the WWF champion, or not the champion, but he becomes the King of the Ring. And so, during the coronation ceremony, in comes Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry the King Lawler had just come to the WWF. A lot of people knew who he was already, but some people didn't. So Jerry Lawler comes up and, of course, says, "Bret Hart, I'm the only true king, but I might let you be a prince if you get down and kiss my royal feet." And then Bret Hart said, "Well, the only king you're the king of is the Burger King." And then everybody started chanting Burger King. Lawler attacked Bret, thus starting their feud. So that was fun stuff. Plus, there was a an 8-man tag. It was the Smoking Guns, and I don't know. It was, it was 4 tag teams, and they wrestled on the match. I think the babyface teams won, but and then no, it was a good event. But the main event was the WWF title on the line. Hulk Hogan with Jimmy Hart defends against Yokozuna with his manager, Mr. Fuji. So everybody remembers that match. It was a pretty good match. Hulk Hogan sold like crazy for Yoko, putting Yoko over. And then everybody remembers that photographer that was in disguise that took a picture, and the flash sort of flashed Hogan in the face. It was a fireball. Hogan was blinded. Yoko belly-to-belly suplexed him, dropped a leg, got the 1, 2, 3, and Yoko becomes once again the WWF Heavyweight Champion. So, King of the Ring 93 was pretty good, I have to say. I enjoyed it tremendously. It was a really fun event, and I always liked the King of the Ring. I know Vince McMahon didn't really like the tournament format, but I liked the tournament format, and a lot of the old school guys didn't like the tournament format because, these matches didn't have a story. There was no story. I'm like, well, I think the story was the tournament. Each guy trying his best to win the match to make it to the next tier of the tournament. So, to me, that was the story. But, what do I know? I'm just a fan. So, anyways, King of the Ring 1993. Right now, like I said, I'm in the process of watching 94. I know initially Owen Hart wins the tournament, but it's all the stuff leading up to. I do have to say right off, because I'm still sort of in the middle of it, Art Donovan as a commentator makes me want to shoot myself in the head. That he's a terrible commentator. Just the way he's mumbling. Oh, look at that guy. Is that a wrestler? He looks like a businessman. That's the whole point. I don't know what they were thinking when they brought him in to do commentary, but that's on the next one. I'll elaborate more on that when the next one rolls around. But I really just wanted to post this just to let you guys know I'm back, and I'm still rolling, and I'm still going to continue to make content. And I know a lot of you are waiting for figure matches. Those are coming. Like I said, I did test runs. There's a few adjustments I need to make, but it's going to be good. I think it'll be good. So, anyway, with that, if you're new, please feel free to like and subscribe and share. And I will see you next time.